Well, that was weird. I don't know what happened. It just closed out. So I have full battery on my phone. I don't know why it decided. There it goes. So I apologize to folks. I'm sitting here talking just like la-di-da-di-da. Not really paying much attention. I did not realize that it had quit on everyone. But I think before it was cut out, James was asking me if I was going to do a background, and I was explaining that I didn't want to go too into it because one, a full background wasn't part of the commission, and then two, we don't want to distract from our focal point, which is Gwen Stacy. So I think that was where we were. And I apologize again for not realizing that it had quit on everybody. Facebook was like, nope. And it better not quit because of classical music. This stuff is not licensed. Anybody can play Mozart. Or Beethoven. Excuse me, Beethoven. Thank you, Terry. So there we go. She's coming along. Hi, Philip. Again, I'm sorry to anybody who's coming in that was in the other live video and it cut out. I don't know why it just quit. But it did, and I was over here just like la 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 la, not paying no mind whatsoever. Yes, Joe, actually, if you contact Eon Comic Artboards, EON, and you let Brett know, he's the guy who owns and distributes all that paper, he can, you know, set up a border like this with your name and stuff on the bottom. And of course, it's really cool. It says original art. And the really fun part about it is, like, when I go to shows and I have this paper, then if someone, like, say they wanted a sketch commission or something, I have it also in a smaller size. Like, this is the largest I'll do a commission at a show. Sorry, it's gonna get shaky. And I have a smaller one that's like the sketch cover sizes. And instead of someone having to go and hunt down a sketch cover and get one of those, I said, well, I have my own paper here. It's got my name on it. It's relatively the same size. All you need is a bag of board. And it stays in the same price range. And I love taking those to shows as well. So if you contact Brett, tell him Jen sent ya. He can get those and send them over to you, and it's pretty awesome paper. Totally worth it. Let's see, if I had used my nib, I'd have to wait for this to dry. So that is the benefit of multi-liners, is you don't really have to wait that long. Only bad part is it's not as organic a flow to me, in my point of view. Sorry guys for the shakes. There we go. So again, I put my light source over here. So I'm going to go in with some base colors for her skin tone. I'm going to go with E000. Or should I go with E quad? Where is that? Did I drop it? We did. I am still scrambling after the shows. It's crazy. Just go with E-triple. It's fine. No, I'm coloring this. That was part of the commission, was for it to be a full colored commission, so again, that's why there was no background really. How long does it take you to complete a drawing? It really all depends. Like this one, since she's not really all that detailed, she's not going to take me that long, maybe a day or two. Full color, or not full color, full cover work takes me longer. It takes me a few days to a week. Really all depends on what it is, and all of that stuff. Bum bum! Such dramatic music! So, you know, doesn't take me too long. Again, though, I have to wait for elements of this to dry before I keep moving forward. So all I'm doing right now is just the first coat, I guess you would call it. And yes, I do flip my paper. A lot of times, especially when I'm coloring faces, people get really confused seeing me on show floors because I'll have the image upside down. It's just a way for me to force my eye to see the face for the shapes that it is, instead of just concentrating on it being a face. And then, like right now, I can focus on where all of her shading is and apply them without being like, well, that's a face, that's a cheek. No, I'm looking at other elements. It's a little way to kind of trick your eye. Same with, it's the same concept as turning your image, flipping it horizontally to find all your mistakes while you're working on it. you flip it and all of a sudden everything's screaming at you that it's wrong, then you can fix it. So I turn my canvas a lot. I do make mistakes all the time. That's how we learn, man. Joe, when I make mistakes, they're usually really big and I have to start all over. That's like I was explaining when I first started with this one. I worked on drawing up a mock-up of her late at night. So, I mean, it looked okay. But then I started penciling her and I'm like, something's wrong. Something is so wrong with this and I don't like it. And it was late and I'm just not productive at night. I don't make the best line judgments, I guess, is what you would call it. I don't know. So then the next morning I came in and I looked at it and I was like, holy crap, her face is horrible. And that was what was bugging me. So I went and fixed it this morning and was much happier with it. Yeah, the moment of clarity. I really do try to work at night because I know, like, for Twitch and stuff, that's when everybody's available to watch and stuff, but I just can't. I'm just like, my brain checked out. It went to bed. Oh, now we're getting into sad classical music. Well, that and, during the day they're gone, so I can focus more. I mean, come on. That's why I hope that our new stand comes in so that we can do better recordings from a better angle from the camera. And that way we can do some YouTube speed paint videos. It won't be live, but it'll be something that someone, you can watch. And it won't be forever painstaking kitty. Stephen says, what kind of markers am I using? I am using Copic markers. I prefer Copic. I don't know if you guys can hear my pups. She's over there playing with something. Terrorizing the poor cat. And will you completing this one sitting here or later on Twitch? Joe, possibly on Twitch. Just keep an eye out for it. Really all depends. I am hoping to do a Twitch stream tonight, but just keep an eye out. We'll post announcements and stuff. So take care, Joe. No problem. Ask me any of the questions. It might take me a second to stop and look, but I don't mind answering and talking shop. You see my E000 is starting to dry out. You too, Joe. Take care. Does anybody sponsor you with your art supplies, James? No, and I wish they did. I know Brett from Eon Comic Artboards, he gives me a little bit of a discount since I, tag him a lot and stuff. But since they're a small business, they can't just give me a bunch of, paper, and I wouldn't want to take away business from them either. Because I believe in their product. So I really, I don't mind paying for it. But I wish Copics would be all like, hey, we want to sponsor you. I'm sure if I had a larger following, maybe. So something to aim for in the future. Okay, so that's kind of like the first coat on the skin tones. Now, that's by far not going to be the last. But I need to let the paper relax for a second. So we're going to work on her. Cool thing about the Young Comic Artboards is I'm still promoting them. Yeah, I kind of rolled on it. They'll give you a pack. Well, not give you, but, you can purchase a pack of samples. And you can play with the paper to see if you even like it. I can use this to travel with to do kind of color chickens, which is basically just swatches. You are dry, aren't you? Yep. I need a refill of that. So basically I'm trying to find a blonde for her hair that's not too dark, not too light. You can see I use this one a lot. That messiness didn't tell you, but I need a nice base. That is not that yellow. Usually I use a YR, but my YR is dry. So I'm trying to find an alternative. Go back in your home. I just have to use a Y00. You have a great day too. Take care. That's gonna make her look really yellow. Found a cheat. Anybody's interested in a cheat. I'm gonna go in with a Y000, which is gonna make her hair look bleach bottle blonde. But I'm using it to saturate my paper. Paper. Did you ever see paper before? It's pretty much gonna be the white of her hair too. You can also do this with like a 0 as well. You're covering over a large area, and if your marker is running a little low. I don't have a refill for my YR31. But I wanted it as the base for her blonde hair. Yeah, you can see, look, it's all drying out. Oh, no. Now you can see what I'm doing. light source over here. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate it. Hi, kitty. Meow. I know. You gonna tell people about it? Okay. Hey, 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 quit. And then he comes in and starts shaking the camera. I am sorry. I cannot read that at all. I apologize. Yes, kitty, kitty. I know. It's more orange than I want to go. I have done a tutorial on drawing and coloring hair for Sketch Magazine. I do not know when it's going to come out, but I have done that because I kind of have a thing for hair, if anyone hasn't noticed. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Philip. And thank you, Michael. I apologize. I can't do a translator right now just because I have both my phone and my iPad working and I can't get to my computer. So it's just kind of like, I feel terrible because I can't do those translations. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But I appreciate you coming and watching. Yay! And usually my assistant Simona's in here, but again, like I said, she's been doing interviews and stuff for work. So she is busy. Everybody send her positive vibes. Hand goes this way. You can see where, and I'm going to start working on her face again too. Dong. Yay! Bravo! Alrighty, so there's kind of the base for her hair. She'll get a little bit darker just to add more depth, but now her face is kind of, it's dried. So now we're gonna go in here with some colors. Because now her face needs some more depth. Steven, yeah, it's a lot. But it's fun. What musical artists do you like to listen to while drawing? Definitely not necessarily Beethoven, though it's not a bad thing to listen to, but it's pretty much non-licensed, so I can listen to it while I'm drawing on Facebook. I usually like to listen to artists like Lindsey Sterling or deadmau, or, just something with a good beat that I can draw to, and also it forces me to draw faster because even this Beethoven, it still has an intensity to it that makes me, I don't know if you've noticed, I kind of draw in a rhythm that the music starts to lay down. She goes sideways. She's coming along. So I guess that answer would be like more electronic stuff. Does not help that I have 4 markers in one hand. All I'm gonna have to get going here soon too. She needs some blush. Thank you. Thank you, Max. Sorry, I was getting into placing my shadows. I'm glad you like it so far. She's coming along. So like, here's a handful of colors that I use on her face. It's a lot, and it's not even all the colors that I used, but it's just like an example of when you're coloring skin tone that you don't just stay with what they give you, because if I would have stayed in the E color, the E11 was starting to make her face look muddy, and it will continue to just kind of degenerate after that if you don't pick a different, you know, color family to go into adding more depth and stuff to your skin tones. Same with hair. We'll be doing some different colors in the hair too. And like, this is not a gray that I'm adding, it's actually a violet that I like to use. Some people like to stay within the families. I like to mix them up. Well, I mean, honestly, they don't if you, go, like use the watercolor type of approach and go from light to dark. But I mean, if you mess up. Okay, sorry about that. That was a phone call from my husband. I didn't realize what time it was. I'm gonna have to get going too. But there she is, back up and going. But no, like I was explaining, William, when you said that you're so hesitant to start with colors because they're so dark, for her skin tone, I started with an E000. And you can see the base down here because I worked on her face first. But you can see, like, on her legs and her hand, I did E000 and E00 to just do a flat base. And then I went in, when I started working on her face more, I came in with E11 and then blended it out with E00, E000, and then just kind of kept building with layers and layers. Another thing to do is to let your inks dry. Folks were watching the beginning part of the video. I started out with the 2 colors as the base, and then I went and did her hair. Then I'm letting her hair dry, so I went back to working on her face, and so on and so forth. So that's what I tell people with Copics especially, is to let the inks dry, let the paper soak it up. Like, this paper's pretty hard hitting, so it really drinks that ink, look, you can see your face, and really takes it in very well and does a lot of the work for you. Whereas if you were to just keep going and keep applying and not letting it dry, then it starts to get muddy because the inks are sitting on top of the paper instead of soaking into the paper. So that's just stuff to get, to keep into consideration when you're working with stuff. You kind of keep an eye on your paper, on how your inks are absorbing. And if you mess up, just start over. That's what I do. Trust me, I've had to recolor things over and over again because I've, messed up, used the wrong color combination, couldn't fix it, so on and so forth. So, messing up is part of it. If you let, if you're intimidated by it and you let that dictate, the choices that you're making, then you're not going to move forward. And if you mess up, you get mad, you get angry, you just wad that paper up and throw it in the trash and start again. That's what I do. Throwing away can be quite lethargic. It's nice. I'm like, God, I hate you! And just throw it in the trash. I've done that many times. Plus they dry lighter too. They go on dark and then they dry and they lighten up. No problem. You got this. You can do it. You can do it. All night long. No problem. It's Eon, E-O-N, Comic Artboard. They've got a page here on Facebook. If you type that into the search bar, you'll find them. You can even request like a sample pack like this, so you're not having to buy full paper. And see if you like it. Brett can help set you up. You can even get these custom boards. Hold on, let me zoom out. That I had made through them. It has my name on the bottom, original art, all of that. So, Eon Comic Artboard's pretty darn awesome. They're hoping to get their products into art stores here in the future. And I highly recommend them for marker and ink use, because the paper can take inks pretty well. I say pretty well. You can take inks like crazy. Music's got me cracking up. Is that your light source? Yes, that is. Yep, I got that over there. As you can see, I've just started correcting myself because it was up there to remind me of where the light was. It's a little drafting dot if you're curious, so I can take it off my paper. Little cheats, hey, every little cheat counts. It all helps. folks, I'm looking at the time. I am going to be wrapping this up possibly tonight on Twitch. So make sure to keep an eye on the Facebook page for when we announce that we're going to go live. And then you can see me wrapping it up, and hopefully I'll have the camera in a better position. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll talk to y'all later.